Hey, it's Dana Wilde, and welcome to the show. Today, we have a really good topic that I know you're going to like because you're an entrepreneur, and it's all about marketing. Marketing mindset. How do you get that marketing mindset? I'll tell you what, somebody wrote in, and what they wrote was, how do I get a marketing mindset to easily attract the right clients? I've always been told that your mind is like a magnet, so how do I turn it to the frequency to grow my business? I have physical products I design myself. Good question. Thank you for writing in. Hey, by the way, if you want your question answered on the show, just go to danawilde.com/askdana. danawilde.com/askdana. Fill it out. Maybe you'll be on the show. So this is a really good question because I think, we do hear this idea that when you tune your brain, tune your mind to a certain way of thinking, to a certain way of feeling, you attract clients, you attract abundance. And this is true. And we know as brain trainers that it's true because of the reticular activating system. So when you are thinking about success, your reticular activating system is matching that up. It's looking through the mucky muck. It's like a little part of the brain that stands at attention. And whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're talking about, it says like, okay, this must be important to you. So I'm going to look for more of that. So it is important to think positively about your marketing. And so I can give you 3 quick tips that are really useful for getting into that feeling place, that good feeling place about marketing. So the first one is don't try to figure out the how. And especially when you have a physical product. I think what happens sometimes, when you've got a physical product, maybe your profit margin is not as high, or you're looking at it and you're like, okay, I make $1 on this, and if I want to make 6 figures, I've got to sell 100,000 of these, and how am I going to do that? And I mean, that gets stressful when you start to figure out the how. You bring down your emotional cadence, you bring down your emotional happiness when you start to use that thinking brain of like, how am I going to do it? Because the thinking brain, the how part of the brain, is problem solving. And when you're stuck in the problem, you're not seeing the solution. And it can feel impossible, and it'll bring you down. Like if you're thinking like, how in the world am I going to sell this widget for 50 cents and make $1 million? You will just rack your brain trying to think of a solution, and frankly, you'll miss obvious solutions that are around. So completely forget about the how. That's tip number 1. That is not your business to think about the how. Your brain will figure out the how for you. So reticular activating system listens to what you're thinking about, what you're talking about. When you have a certain feeling for a positive expectation, your brain is looking for solutions for you, so you don't have to look for those solutions yourself. Forget the how, tip number 1. Tip number 2, make a big deal about your small successes. Make your small successes feel like big successes. So every time, and this should be daily, every day you should have some small success that you can talk about, and milk it and make it feel like it's a really big deal. If everybody would do this for 3 to 5 minutes a day, you would see that you'd get more of the feeling place. So for example, let's say you have a client call you and leave a voicemail. Well, then you should be talking about like, oh my gosh, this client called and they left a voicemail, and you never know what they want. And it's kind of exciting because people are calling me now, and I love that they're calling me out of the blue, and it's so great. And I have no idea what they're going to order, but it's so exciting to think they're going to order something. I love the idea. And maybe this is the start of a big avalanche of people calling in. Like maybe this is just the first in a whole bunch of it. Like this is huge. This is a huge success that somebody actually picked up the phone and called me. This is so exciting. I love it. Like my business is going so great. This is so fun. I love that I actually received a phone call. Now that would be an obvious one, right? Somebody calling you, it equates to business, but it can be anything. Let's say you watched a video or listened to a podcast like this one about a topic you liked. That can be counted as a success. Make everything feel big, like it's the thing that's catapulting you. oh my gosh, I listened to this podcast today and it was all about marketing and getting in marketing mindset, and it put me in such a good mood. And I know that mood transfers into dollars, and I can feel like this is a turning point for my business. And I love that I'm getting emotional momentum, and I'm learning all about this brain and the reticular activating system. And it's so cool how that's like the thing that's drawing success to me. And I love to know that my brain's working on my behalf. And I love pumping up how I'm getting better at this and how I feel better about this and how I'm having all this success and my business is doing so well. I know it's doing so well because I listened to that podcast today, or I listened to that video today, and oh my gosh, it just equates into emotional momentum, which equates into dollars, and it's all like a big domino effect. So I'm already on a roll. This is so good for my business. It feels so good. Like, make everything feel like, oh my gosh, you would not believe how good my business is going. You would not believe. Milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it. If you can continually get into that feeling place with that list, because we've said before about make a list of everything that's going right, but take that little thing that's going right and juice it up. Juice it up as much as you can to get it feeling like it's a really big deal. Okay? So now what happens is, on a day-to-day basis, more consistently, you are in that feel-good place that tells your brain, I'm successful, stuff is coming in, I'm making money, things are happening, and your brain says, yeah, we know, you're thinking about this a lot, and it's important to you, and so we're looking for more of that for you, Dana. Aye, aye, Captain, right? Like, that's what you want. Because the truth is, in your business, it does not matter what you do or don't do. It really doesn't. It only matters what you think about what you do or don't do. Have you ever met somebody who's brand new in their business, and they usually come up to you and they're so excited about their product and their services and their ideas, and they're going on and on about, like, this is happening and that's happening, and oh, and then I thought of this, and you know what, and then I could put college logos on things, and I'm making this widget and I could brand it to colleges and I could send it out, and oh, and I had this idea and I had that idea. They're so excited. We call it ignorance on fire, right? They aren't thinking about the how. They aren't thinking about the little upset that happened last week. They're brand new out of the gate, talking about their successes, feeling good, and selling on sheer enthusiasm. That's the state you want to create for yourself. And then the other one is, I want to address this, tip number 3, because you don't say it 100% in your question in your email, but I kind of get this vibe a little bit, and I know this is really common, where it's almost like, how do I market this? You know, back into the how, but also like, I'm not a marketer, quote unquote. Like, I like making my thing. I like making my physical thing that I sell, but I don't want to go out there and be a marketer, quote unquote. And we get that a lot in the sandbox of people who are passionate about their products, but they don't want to be salesy, or they don't want to be pushy. They don't want to be marketers. So I want to give you tip number 3 as a reminder, and this is like, you can take this to the bank as fact. Anytime you show up and exist in the world anywhere as you, as the enthusiastic you about your life, not even just your business, the happy, centered, positive, enthusiastic you in the world, you're marketing. That's what marketing is. Marketing is existing anywhere, talking about anything as the centered, happy, positive you. Because that centered, happy, positive you existing out in the world, knocking about with people, talking about them. I don't care if it's virtually, I don't care if it's on the phone, I don't care if it's live, I don't care if you're at a soccer game, I don't care if you're at the grocery store, I don't care if you're doing a webinar. You, emotionally centered, showing up, is marketing. That's what marketing is. That, because just being around you, people are going to want to know what you do. They're going to want to know what you're interested in. They're going to want to know what you had for breakfast. They're going to want to know what your business is. They're going to be attracted to who you are in the world. And that is going to build your business. So let's demystify marketing. Let's not look at marketing as like, oh, I'm so good because I created a sales page and then I have an upsell page and I've also got this funnel and I've got this lead magnet and I'm doing all this stuff that all the marketing gurus say to do. You're going to make the most amount of money from being emotionally aligned, being emotionally centered, having high expectation, being in the feeling place of feeling successful. Continually stay into that feeling place of being successful and your brain will sort out everything else for you. You know, I had an experience quite a few years ago, I guess now, but somebody was trying to figure out how to sell this physical product. And it was a business they had founded themselves and they had this physical product and they had been doing, you know, quite a few things over the years to build their business. And they couldn't wrap the math around how they were going to make money with this physical product. So they got stuck in tip number 1, right? Trying to figure out the how. And I said, you know, you have no idea how money is going to flow to you. You have no idea the ways that your brain will come up with to find people to buy your business for you. You know, and if you think about this, and in this person's case, I said, you've built up a really nice brand. Somebody could swoop in all at once, some major company, and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to buy one product from you for $1. I want to buy your whole brand and your whole company, and I want to give you a gazillion dollars for it. And then you can go off and you can build something else. You know, the idea is we are not limited by the number of creative ways that our brains can come up for us to make money, to allow things to flow, to have new creative endeavors, to market our businesses, to get the word out about our businesses. So having a marketing mindset really just means being happy and being centered and feeling good and getting stuck in the how, but allowing and trusting and knowing and flowing and really feeling like, you know what, I'm just enjoying this journey. I'm not going to put a bunch of rules in place about exactly what I expect to happen or what I want to happen because those rules might be limiting me. Instead, I just want to be open to everything with my name on it. I want to be open to anything that's possible, all of the possibilities that are out there. And that's how you get to the marketing mindset frequency. And you can start right now. And we'll see you next time on The Mind Aware. Bye, everybody.